Hello everyone, it's Laura here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm gonna show you how to make a custom background using Distress Inks as well as dies and stencils by my favorite things. The stamp set I used is also by my favorite things. This is the Seaside Seagulls and it came out I think with the June or the July release, I'm not sure. Anyway, I love it, it's so funny. It's full of these seagull images which I really love. Anyway, I had to get it. So I am stamping it on some Nina Solar White cardstock with my Memento Tuxedo black ink because I'm going to do some coloring with my Spectrum Noir markers. And there is really nothing special about the coloring of these images because they're pretty simple in terms of design, so I kept the coloring simple as well. I used my white gel pen to fix up those areas in which the color had bled a little bit outside the lines, and then I used my cutter bee scissors to cut out my image. For my card base, I took a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock by Strathmore. This is cut at 5 by 5 inches and I am securing it onto my craft mat because I want to do some ink blending and I also want to use some stencils and I don't want my stencils or my cardstock to shift. Because I want to create sort of an ombre effect that radiates from the sun outward, I am moving my ink blender in a circular motion. So I laid down my stencil, I figured out where the sun will be on my card, and then I start from there and I move my ink blending tool outwards in circular motions. I'm starting with mustard seed and then I'm coming in with squeezed lemonade as my lighter color, and I keep working at it again in this circular pattern until I get a blend that I like. Once my first layer of color is laid down, I can come in with my stencil and I'm using some washi tape to secure it in place so that it won't shift while I do ink blending on top. I decided to go for a sunset look, so I'm using oranges. I'm using carved pumpkin and dried marigold, and again I'm going to sort of follow this circular pattern while I blend the colors outward. And here is the reveal of the finished sunset. It's always so cool when you remove a stencil or a mask to reveal the result that was hidden up to then. Anyway, it's time to move on to the sea or the ocean, whatever you like. I took another piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock. This is again 5 inches large. And I'm coming in with Distress Inks in Salty Ocean and laying a first layer of color. I will add chipped sapphire and blueprint sketch to deepen up the blue at the bottom of the cardstock, and once I'm done I'm gonna die cut it with some dies by my favorite things. At this point I am coming in with some water droplets and I'm using my fingers to drop some water here and there on the cardstock. I let it sit for a little bit and then I dab off the excess with a paper towel to create this distressed look. And if I feel I removed a little bit too much color with the water, I can come in with whatever ink is left on my sponge applicator and, reintroduce a little bit more depth in those areas that I feel were sort of bleached a bit too much. I am now using the Ocean Wave dies, also by my favorite things, to cut out some layers for the front of my card. I'm securing them in place with some washi tape and running them through my die cutting machine. I also used the third die from that same die set to cut out some vellum as my third ocean layer because I thought that looked pretty nice. For my sentiment, I decided to do some heat embossing using some white embossing powder, and I chose to use the sentiment You Go Go because I thought it was really fun with the image of the little seagull standing on that wooden stand and the sunset on the background. I don't know. I thought it was really fun. Anyway, I'm stamping the sentiment with some VersaFine ink after having prepped my surface with an anti-static powder too. I am then coating the, my layer with some white embossing powder and heat setting it with my heat gun. At this point, I can go ahead and start assembling my card base. I am using some Tonic Studios tape runner to adhere all my layers in place, and I'm just making sure that I put tape on the vellum just in those areas that are covered by the front layer. I can then, cut off the excess vellum and adhere everything in place. Off camera, I also colored a few more seagulls. You can see them here. I didn't show the coloring because it's quite simple and there was nothing different from what I've done with the first seagull. So yeah, that's why I left it out. I'm using again some tape runner by Tonic Studios to adhere them in place. And that's it, basically. My card is done. And that's it. That's my card for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found it useful. If so, please let me know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. You can also visit my blog for the full list of supplies, and I hope I'll be back soon with another video. Ciao!